Welcome back. It's Wisdom Wednesdays with Crystal
and Samuel.
And we've missed you. If today's your first day tuning in, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends. If it's not, welcome back, and let's get right into it. Today we wanted to, it's in the season of love and everyone is getting ready to celebrate Valentine's with the people they love, the person they love, whatever it is. But a lot of times we miss the mark on how to actually extend that love to the people that
we love or we care about.
Yeah, that we love or we care about.
And especially being a new year, folks have their different goals, different things they want to change about themselves, how to get better. And for some folks, they want to be a better person and also a better lover to that significant person.
Right, and learning how to love that person is very important. We've all heard about the 5 love languages, acts of service, words of affirmation, gifts giving, physical touch, quality time. We've all heard about these things, but a lot of times we miss it. We forget, or we don't notice the signs of how that person receives love. So we were hoping to share that with you. If you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with us, any comments, you put it down below. If it's something personal, you want to send it to our email
or Instagram.
Our emails are down below so that you can message us. Since we've been gone, we've had a lot of people reach out with questions and things that they needed advice on, and we've responded in those inboxes. We love you guys, and thank you for sending those messages. If you have something
No, it's okay.
If you have something that you'd like us to address on this channel, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. But you were saying?
No, I was about to say that we really appreciate you guys for trusting us to share with you guys from our experiences and how, if we have dealt with that matter, how did we dealt with it. And so it can be relatable to you in however you see fit.
Yeah. And a lot of people might say, oh, they're young. What kind of experience do they have?
Nah, trustingly, like, especially in this video at first, I never knew what love languages were growing up. I just know, touching, that's all it meant to me. Touching and giving, that's all. But doing a deep dive, I never knew about all the things until I met her, my wife now. And I've learned over the years. So what I'm trying to say is that it is a process, but you have to start.
Right, and your age doesn't determine what you know or have experienced in your lifetime. And sometimes, it says out of the mouth of babes and suckling comes wisdom. So let's see what we can help you with. So you want to tell them what your love language is, since we've already told them what this topic is going to be about?
Sure. First off, my love language is definitely words of affirmation, and also, of course, touching. I'm very physical. I think just keep it short. I think just those two, and they go entwined. Like, you can show me you love me sometimes. I like to hear you tell me you love me. At first, earlier with in our relationship, I was just getting one, and I thought that, hey, okay, we did this over here, but what about this? Like, right. So. Yeah,
for me, mine is quality time. I'm big on spending time, and not just spending time, but actual quality time. And then my other one is acts of service. Like, those are my top 2. Like, giving is there. I love to give gifts, and I love to receive gifts. I love to hear what people, like, if I talk to my friends and they mention something, I keep that in the back of my head, because I like to give gifts. I like receiving gifts, but I think it's hard for me to tell people what I actually want, especially as an adult, because y'all don't really want to buy me what I want. But I'm going off topic for a little. But either way, acts of service and quality time are my top 2. That's the best way that I receive love, especially from my partner. So maybe we can get into that a little bit. I've taken some notes and written it down, and maybe some questions that we can touch on, as we delve into this?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. So the first thing that I wrote down for us to talk about, how we applied love languages to our relationship. Would you like to go first?
After you.
After me? For me, it's been a process because Sam, obviously we have different love languages that are our top two. And Sam loves physical touch and words of affirmation. The words of affirmation part, I can do that because to me that's like it's a gift to give someone supportive words, to speak into them positive things, because I like to see people do well. So giving positive advice and positive words into your life is something that I find to be very easy. Now the part of physical touch, like I can hug and like I don't mind doing that, but it's not my go-to thing that I receive love from. So given Sam that, at times it can be difficult, especially because his physical touch doesn't just stop at the friendly, conventional type of physical touch. He'll want to go to the intimate side, and sometimes I'm tapped out. Now that I'm a mother, like, my box is dried, like the fountain, like sometimes I don't have it in me to give that physical that he's looking for. So it can be difficult at times to meet his expectations of what he's looking for and how he receives love. So sometimes I have to consciously tell myself, like, hey, Crystal, you don't receive love that way, but Sam does. So you gotta play with his face a little when he's thinking about it. You know what I mean? You gotta rub on his head. You just things that this is how he receives love. And I have to put myself, I don't want to say in an uncomfortable position, but in an unfamiliar position rather, so that I can meet his need, because I would like him to reciprocate that and meet me at my needs. So that's where I am for now. I'll stick a pin right there. So
first one is quality time. That's the first one. That's the first one I had to learn from years ago. And the reason why I always go back, because it always, every time I think about it, it's like, wow, over the years, like I just got it. It just stuck me that, hey, this is what she likes. And for at least 2 years in our relationship, I've been banging on her like why you don't love me, or why this, why that. Like I didn't say that, but it was in my mind, like, why? I never took time to understand that love language, what it meant for me, but also what it meant for her. So now that I took time to understand it, I can now then give it. And by doing that for the past 2 years, or for the recent two and a half years, it's been great. I've gotten so much better. I was able to understand her even much better, and I'm actually more proud of myself.
Featuring Araya.
Say hi, baby. Hi, princess. Say hi. Yeah, guys. So back to what I was saying, and yeah, I've gotten so much better at that, and it makes life much easier for me and also her. The second one is active service. This one comes naturally from jump, so that's just who I am, and I've grown that step, and I love it. So things I do for us around the house or for the family, it just comes naturally, and I actually love doing it. I enjoy it, so there's not much to say about that. You can go deeper and say, if it was lazy before or whatnot, but I guess what I should say is that when I do things, I don't do it out of expectations in terms of what do I do for the family. I think that's the key point there. I do it because it needs to be done, and if I can't do it, I do it. I don't measure, but I do what she do. I just do it. Sometimes there is fallout, to be honest, where like she asked me to do some things, but I did other things. So I get upset that she doesn't see what I have done, but she sees what she asked me and I have not complete. And we argue over that many times, even on to now. And sometimes I will like pause, breathe. Like, okay, remember, Sam, she hasn't seen it, but that could be something for the next video.
Yeah. And to go off of that, and the fact that we're not perfect at this love language thing, for me, what I find Sam does well is the act of service, because he's trying now, he's learning about the quality time, simply because, in the beginning, he'd say, okay, yeah, I'll spend time with you and do this, and he'll fall asleep. And I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves. If someone is spending time with me, don't sleep. Like, that, it's quality time. I expect you to be there to interact with me. Sometimes I don't even want to talk to you while we're watching the movie. I just want to know that you're actually watching it too, so that when it's done and we're going to talk about it, we can actually talk about it. And you're not like, oh, what happened there? And what happened there? No. And I'm like, did you not watch the movie? But either way, like, when it comes to acts of service, we're not just talking about him doing housework or anything like that. That's not an act of service to me. That's an act of service to our family. When I say act of service, I mean like doing things that is selfish to me only, that benefits me. Like, you know, taking me out to get my hair done for me, letting me spend time alone for me. That's what I mean when I say acts of service, and Sam does that really well for me. He also does acts of service for our family, which, you know, ties in, and it's really good because it takes the pressure off of me and it releases some of that off my head. Is he perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Especially when it comes to giving him love in his love language. Sometimes, you know, you're angry and upset and you don't feel like you could speak positively into that situation. And sometimes we don't. We don't speak positive things into that person. We do not give words of affirmation always. Sometimes, you know. But either way, that's a story for a different day. So let me ask you the next question, Sam. How do we spice up our love language? Is there a big range? Are we complacent? What do we do?
And do things without expectation. Like, she loves massages, I give her massages. I don't expect nothing. Well, sometimes, yeah, you know I do, but...
And you see, that ties in both of our ends. That gives him physical touch and me quality time. If I'm getting a massage without an expectation and he's getting to touch me, that's quality time and physical touch tied in.
Yeah.
But either way, for me, spicing it up is like when he's not expecting it, even though, because I'm an introvert, so I'm not only not a physical person, I also need time to recover. Like, I'm an extrovert introvert where I can go out and be, you know, fun and open with my friends and have a good time. And I could do that repeatedly for a little while, but eventually, like, my battery is gonna run out and then I'm gonna need time to recover on my own and not see anybody. And some people don't understand that. They think that, oh, there's a problem, that you don't want to talk to them or something. It's not that. It's just that I need some me time because I'm at E, and if I give you anything else, it's not gonna be good. But either way, what? Oh, you wanted to interject?
Yeah, I wanted to interject. So earlier in our relationship, I used to get upset and, like, for example, like, I just want to know, like, why are you so quiet? Like we good? Like, what's going on? So I used to be on her back all the time. Like, what's wrong? Is that okay? Is everything okay? Like, why are you so quiet? Like, why? You know, it's still what it. One time she snapped and said, "Sam, nothing is wrong. I just want to be alone. Nothing is wrong. Are we fighting? Are we good?" Like, yeah.
Did you do something to me?
No.
No.
So why do you think something's always wrong? And after that, I said, you know what? The first thing that came to mind was maybe she just needs some time by herself, or just she just wants to be alone. And I just used that and I worked with that over the years, and it's worked out well for me.
And it's crazy how that ties into how we receive love as well, because understanding if you're INTJ or ENTJ or whatever it is, if you understand that too, it makes a difference in how that person receives love as well. But I'm not going to go into that. That's a different thing. But as I was saying, how I spice up giving love to Sam, knowing that I'm an introvert and I'm not into physical touch, I know that's what Sam likes. So I will randomly, like, just tell him, hey, come babe, let me stretch you out. Because he loves stretching, but he's also very lazy. And
stretching. And
if I'm stretching him out, it's very physical because I have to touch him. I've got to pull on his legs, his back, and all of that. And he enjoys that. I'm like, okay, let me give you a massage. Or he'll just wake up to me rubbing and playing in his head. And calm down. Calm down, sir. But, you know, just spontaneous things that I know that he enjoys that. So I will randomly set up things for him to do that'll allow us to be physical. We'll start I'll play music so that we can dance at home, physical, and all of that, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm working on spicing up. The speaking affirmations, I can do that. He also likes gift giving. I think that's on the top, and I'm a very good gifter as long as I got money. I listen well and I retain what people share with me, so that makes me a good gift giver. I've heard him talk about, oh, I don't have any, like, I know it might seem insignificant, but like he likes sweaters, and he's like, oh, I don't have any more sweaters that look nice, and just go out and bought him a ton of sweaters. Now he can't complain. Now he can wear clothes that look good because I bought it. But
so another thing that works for me is that when you said listening, I think listening is very important too, because I listen to things like over the year, throughout the year rather. Listen to stuff that you want, or things that we should do, or whatever, and I choose those. I listen, and sometimes I pick one of those things that we can do, an activity, a movie that she wants to see so much, or whatever, or a place she wants to go, some food she want to try, and just every now and then I just pick one and I just do one. Again, without expectation, without nothing, just do it because it's nice. She's my wife, I love her, she's my friend, you know me, so yes,
that's true.
And she loves it.
All right, so the big question is, now that we have kids, how has it changed, and where do we fit in with a kid in the mix?
You start.
I start? Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've been very fortunate with this beautiful child that we have here, that her personality has fit very much in with ours. She's suspiciously like me. She doesn't really like touching, but she loves being close with us. Like if we tell her like, hey, give me a kiss or a hug, she's just like, why don't you go somewhere? But she's also very playful and quiet, and you know, I feel like she feels the vibes, and that makes it easier for us to feel our vibes with each other and our individual vibes as well. Having a kid can change the way we receive love. For me, I'm already not a physical person, and now I've got a child that, at least she hasn't done this to me, but it could be a case so far where, you know, she's overstimulated me, and then it's like, okay, I already don't like doing it. Now I've been touched on all day by a kid, and now you want to touch on me too. And that, I think, could be a problem for a lot of people. We haven't, thank God, had that issue just yet. She pretty much will go to mommy or daddy. Nobody's overwhelmed or overstimulated. Are you overwhelmed or overstimulated? I don't want to speak for you.
No.
Okay. No one's overwhelmed or overstimulated thus far. So I think we've managed that part very well. When it comes to acts of service, she hasn't changed that for me. Sam still does what he has to do. I do what I have to do. When it comes to words of affirmation, that hasn't changed. He actually probably gets more because I'm like, oh, look at you. You're such a good dad. She loves you. She's a daddy's girl. She is. You see her right there? But she's also a mommy's girl. Don't be fooled by the rocks that she got there. She loves mommy.
I think I'll just give it simple. One is just quality time. So now it really plays on my mind, like, okay, I need to make time and schedule for my family. You know, I'm not saying that I don't love or respect my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I would not have talking to her. But it's just more of, I need to make time for both of them, and right now in her early stage, you know, what we're working on is having her learning cues right now is visual. So I'm really trying to push for her to see mom and dad together as often as possible. So, you know, whether it's nighttime, you know, sometimes they'd be relaxing in the bed, but I'm up and out in the house doing stuff, you know, take care of stuff, because she's at work all day, but I also want her to spend time with her, but she wants it too. But you get what I'm saying. So yeah, just make time for both of them, and sometimes I'm just able to make time for both of them at once. Yeah.
That is very true. All right. I think we're coming to the last question, right? That I have. If you have another point that you'd like to make, you can do so. So the next question is it fair to compromise and meet your partner's love language?
That's a tough one.
And wait, before you answer that too, do you ever feel like it's more one way than the other when compromising?
No. Yeah, no. You?
I think it's more him compromising than me, because I think he's a lot simpler in a sense that his is physical touch and words of affirmation. I think that's a lot easier to meet, in sense that, you know, simple, just holding his hands and, you know, telling him good things about himself. That could be easier. I'm not saying it always is, but it could be easier. And I think sometimes he probably gets the short end of the stick, because I require you to give me quality time, not just quantity time, quality time. Time that we can remember, good time that we can spend together. And also, I require acts of service. I think a lot of women might have very similar love languages to me, but either way, I require two things that require him to give of himself and of his time, you know, which could possibly be a bit much. So that's why I go out of my way too to also hit the other love languages that he has that might not be at the top of his list, but are definitely important, like gift giving, and randomly like cooking things that he might be like, oh, I feel like eating this, and he'll come home and I'll cook it. And I'll find restaurants that we can go to and try things that he likes. Or if I see an alcohol, because he has the rum shop page, I see an alcohol, I'm like, oh babe, I saw this, I thought of you, or whatever. Getting things that are random. I'm a random person, as I've explained before, but also, you know, just hitting on his other points, because sometimes I feel like he is doing a lot more in that meeting my love language department, because mine is such a vast thing to be asking for, and he doesn't even feel like he's doing a lot more. But to me, my reception is that he's doing a lot more.
And you see, that already I respect that, love, and appreciate, because you may say, or you guys may say, why sound say no? I said no because when someone realizes that they're short in one end, but they can give you more on this end, they do it, and that's what she does. So that's why I say no, because sometimes she may give me 50% on here, but on this side she give me 120, 140, 150. Sometimes simple as preparing me meals, like, and delicious me with love, and she played it nice for me, and waits for me to give it to me in my hands. I don't require it, but I love it. It's spontaneous. If she doesn't do it, I don't be upset or whatever, but it's like, wow, she's standing there waiting for me to come to her to receive my dinner, my lunch, my breakfast. It's like, wow, those kind of simple things, you know. So that's why I said no, and I appreciate that. Yeah. But you know, it's on the other hand, you know, people could take advantage of that, because you have identified, understand, and realized, but you could choose not to.
Exactly.
You don't.
And some people try to do the bare minimum. Like, they're like, oh, she likes giving, I'm gonna buy her roses all the time, or I'm gonna buy her, and you're not sitting there and taking time to actually understand what kind of gifts she likes. Actually understanding that person. Like, we might like gifts, but we don't just want anything. Sometimes it's something specific, like maybe they like to go see basketball games. And
inexpensive too.
Yeah, and it might not be expensive, but you're like, oh, I don't want to really spend time and think about it. So she likes gifts, so she can't complain, so I'm going to give her gifts. Or he likes gifts, so he can't complain, so I'm going to buy him a t-shirt or a hat. I got you a gift, but you didn't put any thought into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That goes into value matching, and, you know, different... each other's trying to match each other's value system, because our value system may be different,
right?
You know, so what may be valuable to me may not be valuable to her.
Right. So understanding that is very important. So not only is it important to understand the love language of the person, but understand how they accept love within that spectrum as well. Because you see, when Sam said, "Oh, I spend time with you," that was in the beginning. He's like, "Oh, I always come and spend time with you." I'm like, "No, you sleep 90% of that time. That's not quality time." For me, I'm a big emphasis on quality time. Or Sam's like, "Oh, you do physical touch." Or I say to Sam, "Oh, I give you physical touch." He's like, "Oh, but I also need intimate physical touch." And I'm just like, "Okay, you're right. I'm not meeting you at that point." And then there's also I've already addressed the gift given, where they're like, "Oh, I gave you a gift," but they didn't take time to see, okay, this person enjoys nice bags, or they like, going to sporting events. They don't just want that. They don't want what you walked in the store and you like, so you got it.
True.
Don't do that to people. Don't give them things that you like, so you got it. And then also the words of affirmation. That one is kind of like, oh, you giving them, you sending them Hallmark quotes every day. That's not what they really want to hear. They want to hear how what they're doing impacts you and how you see it and how you interpret that as well. They want to hear a response that you're having to the interactions that you have with them as well.
Yeah.
Like, babe, I see you doing this. I see that you're taking care of Araya and you're doing really well. Allow me to go and do this for you so you don't have to take time away from that. A lot of love languages intertwine with each other too. So understanding that is very important. I think we can end it there today.
I know if this is a lot for you guys, please, like we said before, comment, send us direct messages on Instagram or through our email. All the links are down below. And we love to engage with you guys. We're not perfect, like we said before, but we
are a work in progress. We're not perfect, but we are a work in progress, and we'd love to share throughout our experience with you guys how we've made progress and how you are possibly making progress in your relationship, situationship, whatever it is.
Because at the end of the day, guys, we love helping people, and we started to build a nice little small community with folks that we help, like we said earlier in the video, and we love to extend our community and just truly help people. Help folks. So please let us know, guys. Of course, subscribe for more videos as well. Like, comment, as I stated before. But yeah.
It's Culturally Gifted. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and obviously YouTube. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Like, share, and we missed you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.